I was watching a rather interesting video and saw something rather interesting. Take a look at this.
This is a picture. Internet Eve is a phrase, it's a new phrase. They're saying, they're going right back to the Garden of Eden. They're saying that Satan ensnared her then and took her away from God. And now they're saying the Internet is doing the same thing with a lot of the witnesses. So here was a picture, you'll find it interesting. That's a picture that appeared in the Watchtower. Now that's the cable from the, that is the cable of a computer. And then in the back you can see the shadow looks like a snake. So it's a pretty good graphic. So it's showing that, the Internet is a snake. It's a Satan. That's the August 15th. Yeah, August 15th, 2011. Yeah. So that's the latest. So in other words, they don't want you to become this Internet Eve.
So apostates use the Internet, virtually representing the serpent in the Garden of Eden, and members choosing to listen, read, and watch are Internet Eves. The reason I found it so interesting is that I was previously seeing a striking similarity between the Watchtower and the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Dear Jehovah's Witnesses, you will find that there are things said in this video with which you are in total disagreement because your understanding is that the position of the Watchtower is supported by the Bible. Fine, we understand that. I ask for your patience. Beginning with video 14, we will be looking at various teachings of the organization one by one. We will examine together if they are really supported by the scriptures. So, the mention of these things at this conjecture represents just a sample of the topics we will be exploring in further videos. It is pretty interesting the approach that Satan took regarding the instruction God gave to the first couple. This is how one person imagined that the conversation with Eve might have gone.
Did God really forbid you to eat the fruit of this tree?
Yes.
Oh, why?
If we eat that fruit, we'll die.
God told you that?
Yes. Well, God did tell us that.
Oh, my dear Eve, you're beautiful, but you're not very wise. Do you want to know the real reason God doesn't want you to eat this fruit?
Why, he doesn't want us to die. Well, then why did God tell us not to eat?
Because he doesn't want you to be as wise as he is.
Oh, now what's that got to do with it?
If you eat this fruit, Eve, you will become as wise as God himself.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Oh, I speak the truth. I can prove it.
Oh.
Well, look at me. I'm a serpent. And yet you're amazed that I can talk. Do you know why I can talk?
No.
Because, Eve, I ate this fruit.
You ate this fruit?
And if it will do all this for me, Eve, a serpent, why, think of what it will do for you, a human being.
Well, God said if we even touch the fruit, we'll die.
Oh, nonsense, Eve. You won't die. You'll become wise as God himself.
I don't believe you.
I speak the truth, Eve. Here, take some of the fruit. See? You're touching it now, and you're not dead.
I'm not, am I?
Now eat some. Eat just a little bit, and you won't die either. Go on. Eat some.
Well,
And this is how I see a bit of what is currently going on with the Watchtower organization and potential Jehovah's Witnesses.
Did God really say you will be going to heaven?
Yes, he did.
My. I know you want to go, my child, but where did you get that from?
What do you mean? That's a rather strange question. Well, since you did not know, for one, Jesus made the promise in John 14:1-3.
Oh no, you misunderstood, my child. Jesus was speaking to the apostles. That promise is for a special class, the anointed, those among the 144,000. You can read about them in the book of Revelation, chapter 7.
Really? But I have read Revelation chapter 7 where the 144,000 was mentioned in verse 4. But it also mentioned in verse 9 a great multitude that was also around the throne in heaven. I guess you did not read the entire passage.
We do not just read sections of the Bible, we read all of it. Of course a great crowd was mentioned, and the Bible is right, but it is symbolic. Notice the mention of palm leaves in their hands. There are no palm leaves in heaven, they are on earth.
On earth? They are around the throne. Didn't you see that? Jesus clearly said in John 14 that he will come again to receive me unto himself, and that's in heaven.
You're not paying attention, are you? I told you that that promise was made to the anointed brothers. Also, Jesus already returned invisibly in 1914. He is not coming back to earth again.
But how can that be? The Bible said in Revelation 1 verse 7, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Did you see him in 1914? Did anyone see him?
Again, the cloud is symbolic as well as people seeing him. It is those with the spiritual eye of understanding who did. Did you not read Jesus' words in Matthew 5 that the meek shall inherit the earth? You will live on paradise earth, not in heaven.
But
hold on. I know the matter of the spiritual eye of understanding may be difficult for you to understand just now, but we will have to give it to you in baby steps. It cannot all be explained here and now. Again, the Bible said the meek will inherit the earth, did it not?
Well, it did say so.
Absolutely. It did say so, and you can certainly trust the words of the Bible, can't you? Do you not?
Of course I trust the Bible. I guess I was mistaken.
That's because you belong to Satan's system of false religions. They are misleading you with their limited understanding of the Word of God. You have to come to Jehovah's organization for salvation.
Wait a minute. That is not true. It is to Jesus that I must go for salvation.
Of course it is Jesus who brings salvation. But this is another matter on which Christendom has fallen short. Have you not read in John 17:3 that you have to take in knowledge of Jesus to be saved by him? Can he save you if you do not know him?
I guess not.
That's right, and Jesus appointed a faithful slave to teach you of him. You will take in knowledge of Jesus through Jehovah's visible organization.
Are you talking about the Watchtower organization?
Oh yes, that is correct. It is Jehovah's visible organization.
But how can that be? Doesn't it have a history of false prophecies? Is it not evidently a false prophet?
No. The brothers merely had expectations they sincerely believed were correct, just as the early apostles did. They never claimed to be inspired. They should never be described as false prophets like those warned against in the book of Deuteronomy. These were genuine anointed brothers. They were eager to see God's kingdom come. They never claimed to be infallible, and they never declared that they were prophesying in Jehovah's name. The best part is that over the years they have not taught the false doctrines as the Trinity, hellfire, the immortality of the soul, and other doctrines of Satan, and they have been the ones who made Jehovah's name known and proclaiming the kingdom.
I don't quite understand that. It doesn't make any sense. How can they make false prophecies, not just one or two, but repeatedly, and not be false prophets?
It is okay to not understand now. Proverbs 4:18 explains that the light of truth gets brighter and brighter with time. Just come to Jehovah's organization. Leave Satan's system of false religions, and you will understand.
In the next series of videos, we will examine what the Watchtower teaches. Is the organization using the scriptures in a crafty way? Does the Bible really teach what the Watchtower teaches? Of course, it does appear that way to Jehovah's Witnesses, and convincingly so. A major teaching about the faithful and discreet slave has proven to be without foundation. This has been a significant teaching of the organization for over a century. It was the main point used to suggest that the Watchtower was God's visible organization. That one has been laid to rest. Is another foundation doctrine of the Watchtower also crumbling? In the next two videos, we will examine the 1914 teaching from theological and chronological perspectives. Do join me.